This is the best way to farm XP and essence in LEGO Fortnite Expeditions. I would have loved to show you my journal, but unfortunately it looks as though all of my assignments were complete, and they do say that more assignments will be unlocking soon. But the first way to get XP is simply by completing quests inside of your journal. Yesterday I released a video playing Shadow Caller, and towards the end of that video, while only focusing on missions, I had a total of 1800 hero XP, which, believe it or not, really isn't all that much. First thing that you want to do is walk up and choose a mission. Now, for myself, I'm not going to choose any expert mission. I'm simply going to press quick play because the map that you get into really doesn't matter, and it does spice up the game a little bit. When you load into your game, the first thing that you want to do is open up your map, and that's because you could see all of the locations to rescue civilians and open up chests, which is very important when it comes to playing. This tip is going to come off almost corny in a way, but you do want to make sure that every single map that you load up on, that you're opening every single chest and rescuing every single civilian. Now, most of you would think that this takes way too long to do or is too tedious to do, but the reality is it only takes you 1, maybe 2 more minutes in total to fly around the map while using Shadow Caller and opening up every single one of these chests. Typically, the rescue civilians is also next to them, which makes it a little bit easier to do fast. Keep in mind that while you're doing this, you're also giving yourself the highest rate and chance to get yourself a rare or better item. I get a lot of questions asking if you can even get epic or legendary weapons, and the answer is yes. Even though some become unstable and you can't take them out of the mission, there are players that are getting them while fighting or opening up chests. Let's cover all of our XP drops now. On your standard chest, you should earn yourself 30 XP as well as 50 essence while opening it. When you walk up to a tier 2 chest, you should get yourself about 40 essence and 90 XP. And finally, when selecting and rescuing a civilian, that is an additional 30 XP while picking them up, as well as 20 essence. There's more than 30 objectives per map, so you're giving yourself hundreds of XP just by walking around and picking these players up and opening chests. Another huge tip that people may not think about is defeating bears. Now, people may not realize, but defeating the bears gives you another chest in the game. They're programmed to drop the same exact items that release from the chest, and the bears in this mode aren't as powerful as some of the previous modes like Odyssey. So your main focus when walking into these games to fight should be defeating any bears, as they drop multiple weapons, gadgets, XP, and smoothies, which helps you out a bunch. Once you've opened up all of the chests and rescued all of the civilians, you're then going to focus on your mission at hand. Now, for myself in this mode that I just did, I only had one teammate who was trying to solo, and they weren't doing too hot. Not only that, but they also weren't defeating many enemies, which does help when it comes to gaining your XP very quickly. Now that I've opened up all of the chests, I want to speed run my missions. I don't want to focus too much on enemies, and that's because the XP that gets dropped and the essence that gets dropped is only 1 at a time. I believe the essence is 2 per kill and the XP is 1, which is just not enough for me to want to focus on the enemies. What you should be hoping for is that when you get a team of 4, while you're opening up all of these chests, they're walking around and completing and killing all of the enemies. Even though we didn't have a full team, which made this go by a little bit slower, we still received nearly 2,500 XP and over 500 essence. I talked about fighting bears as far as getting better weapons and essence, but keep an eye out on the lobby because there are always players dropping weapons, not even realizing that you can recycle them. There's a ton of free essence all over the lobby area nearly every time that I'm in there, and I always pick these up and recycle anything that doesn't have good runes on them. I loaded into a different game here on the bridge huge map, and this one is a little bit easier as far as finding all of the chests in a small area, being able to fly from one mission to the other, and setting up some sort of route to do all of these in a very quick way. It also helped that I had 3 additional teammates that were going directly for the objectives, which ultimately meant that I was able to get all of the XP around the map while they were completing objectives. While this isn't the greatest thing in the world as far as helping your teammates go, when it comes to leveling up, you do want to rely on teammates to help you out just a little bit. The only break that I take as far as going throughout my route to pick up different chests and civilians is to fight bears, and I got very lucky here finding 2 of them, which ultimately meant that I got even more XP, more essence, and a few weapons and gadgets to recycle or keep if they were rare enough. Having good teammates is very important because you can see I was able to pull up to a section where they completed some of the objectives, and while I was here, I was able to scoop up all of the XP and essence that was here. I'm not sure how many enemies they defeated, but it seemed to have been well over 100, which ultimately meant that I got over 100 XP just by roaming around here and picking up what they dropped. Then I was back just in time to help them defeat Core, which was the final boss mission to be done. So I picked up every single civilian, opened up every single chest, made it back in order to take out Core, and then opened up all of the 3 major chests, all within just about 7 to 8 minutes during this mode. I got a ton of XP during this, but let's see what my final results are after we grabbed everything on the map. Another little trick is to recycle your unstable legendary weapon before the match ends because you don't keep it. At the end of this match, I had 2,700 hero XP, nearly 700 essence, and I only defeated 7 enemies in 8 total minutes. During those 2 missions that I showed you during this video, I was able to get my Shadow Caller class halfway from level 25 to level 6. It only took me about 15 minutes to do so, and obviously you're able to complete these missions even faster with good teammates. I definitely recommend finding a decent squad to load into these with, because as I mentioned, you'll receive a ton of essence as well as a ton of XP for completing these missions, picking everything up off of the ground, and opening up all of the chests and rescuing all of the civilians. And now that you have so much essence from picking things up from bears, players inside of the lobby, or completing these missions, you can walk up to any vendor and purchase as many of any item that you think that you're going to need in order to improve your gameplay. I like to do dual daggers. I feel like I have much better luck as far as the runes that I get on these, as well as the tier of the weapon that I'm getting. Although in this one right here, I spent over 7,000 of my essence, and I got nothing blue out of it. I'm so happy about everything that I received during today's video, but ultimately, I do think that the vendors should give us something a little bit better. Help me reach 50,000 subscribers by pressing that sub button in the top right. And if you guys haven't already, check out that video in the top left. YouTube thinks that you'll like it a lot. Peace.